You have returning international master Shane Matthews, but the man of the moment, the man who was the first Jamaican ever to beat a 2500 player and make it known to us that it was possible. National master Kevin Brown. And I remember this day so well, Kevin. I remember jumping up and down as a little boy. Can't believe that we could beat a 2500 player. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, thank you for that generous introduction, Jomo. It's a pleasure to be here and to walk down memory lane.
Yeah, man.
To stalwart.
Alright, Kev, talk to us because I remember growing up, you are a feared junior champion, Kev. Feared junior champion. I think you won more than once. And you flew that KC banner real high. I know Richard, who will be in the audience in a little while, will not be too happy. But you flew it real high. Talk to me about your schoolboy years before, because I think it's shortly after you did this.
Well, yes. I mean, I learned chess at age 10, just before going into KC, and I was so fascinated with the game that we just immersed ourselves, and we had a good little clique at KC. I was the youngster in the group. We had persons like Donald Burgess, Fabian Paul, and we were able to win the Workers' Bank. I think it was about 78, 79, but it was a good time, and I won quite a few open junior tournaments, and then I won the juniors towards the latter part of my school days.
So Kevin, not many people know what Workers' Bank is, Me, you and Shane know what Workers' Bank is, but your audience, okay. I see some 14-year-olds and couple 21-year-olds or so in the audience. National Master, not National Master, FIDE Master, National Champion, Shiraz, how are you? Welcome, Nash, welcome. So, Kevin, what's Workers' Bank? Because I know it, but them young boys don't know it, Kev.
Well, that was the tournament for secondary school schools. It was a tournament, and usually it was organized for the corporate area, and then the corporate area champion would play the rural champion. So it was the premier tournament for schools back in the day.
Definitely, Kev, definitely. And all of us aim to be Workers' Bank champions, boy. I remember it was my dream, not in the individual, It was we have to win Workers' Bank, And you're on the bench training straight through, kept trying. For us at Campion, we sat at the bench over and over because you guys were a legend. You had it so many times. We had yet to win it. And we're always saying, we need to win. You guys, I think, had like 5 wins before we got our first. That's huge, Kev. So, Kev, you were one of the greatest ever junior players that we have ever seen. And how did you make that transition? Because we're going to feature your game today, the first game against Antonio Grandmaster-elect Antonio. So, how did you make that team? It was your second team. Tell me how you felt making this team, Kev. Because you did 1990 first, and then 92.
Yeah. 92. Well, in those days, to qualify for the Olympiad, you had to come in the top. What was it? 4 in the national.
Could be top 6.
I think 6. Yeah.
Top 6.
Reserves. Yeah. So you had to play in the top 6. And I remember having to juggle my time in medical school, right? I think at that time I had to juggle that time as well as try to play in the national champs. And what would happen is sometimes we had to games or bring forward games and play sometimes at nights.
In order to play.
to, but it was, yeah, but it was a good time. It was a good time in those days. You had, of course, Shane. You had Harold Chan. I don't know if the Harold Chan. He was also a medical doctor. And you had John Powell, Robert Wheeler of blessed memory. These were all persons who you had to compete against to make the team, you know.
And you did it. And you did it.
Yes.
How old were you when you did this? Because you said first year medical school. How old were you?
Well, I tell you what. My chess career sort of
Hold on, Kev. Hold on one sec, Kev, because the...
Hello?
Yeah, man, we're hearing you better. When you ease back, we didn't hear you a while ago. So so repeat what you said.
Okay. Yes, I mean, what happened is after winning the junior championship in I think I won the junior championship in '84, and I went to Finland to represent Jamaica in the World Tour. That was a very unique tournament for me because here you are going into a strange place. Hardly anybody spoke English, and when we reached the airport, you just saw a Jamaica flag, and you went and shook the hand of the man holding up the flag, and then you went on a limousine to the hotel. That was an eye-opener for me. I performed, I would say, credit in that one. I actually beat up-and-coming Spanish. And that was a good tournament. I think I won 6 games in that tournament.
That's no easy feat, you know, man. That's no easy feat. And then after that, I found that I was in medical school and time off to play in the international tournament. So it was only when I started in the early 90s that I was able to get some time off. And I played in 1990 and 1992 Olympiad. So Kev, when I saw you, I was a little boy. When I saw you as a little boy, and to me, you were the most confident chess player there ever could be. You look like you walk on air, brethren. There was nothing that was as confident as Kevin Brown. Nothing. Nobody, nothing. It was just Kevin. When Kevin entered, Kevin was the most confident man there was. Something to emulate.
Well, 40th, I'm a KC man, and that 40th.
Alright, so guys in the audience, tell me, hold on Kev, tell me how the sound coming through, because I have some feedback here. Just tell me how the sound coming through, please, from Kevin. Yeah, you're a 40th man, Kev, and it showed through and through. Definitely showed, yeah. So, slightly breaking up at your end, Kevin, so hopefully that will sort itself out. It's buffering a little, they're saying. And we know I don't want them lose any of this. So 1992, you're telling us about 1992.
Right, so the team consisted of Neil Fairclough. He was on board one. A fellow Fortis man. He was ahead of me, about 6-7 years ahead of me at KC. And then you had Orrington Singh of blessed memory.
Yeah.
He was on board 2. Then I was on board 3. And then Devlin Sinclair was on board 4. And we had only one reserve. I'm trying to recall. No, I think we had 2 reserves. Michael Seaver
and Abby Nelson.
And
Abby Nelson.
Nelson.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I remember Abby playing that tournament. Alright, Kev, I have a number of greetings for you. The Chess Ninja himself saying big up. So the Chess Ninja is in the house saying that it's a pleasure to be here to hear you. And I have Nash saying that you're a doctor but you still must play. Because them still have a lot to learn from you, Kevin. Yes. So when you play, you know you have a couple licks to deliver.
So every now and again, Kevin show up at a red scorpion just to show them.
Yeah, that's how I see Kevin, you know.
Yes.
That's how I see Kevin. So, Kevin, talk to me about this match. You got up, you heard the night before. We usually hear the night before who we're playing.
Yes.
So you heard the night before that you're playing the Philippines. What went through the team's head?
Well, we just wanted to give a good account of ourselves. We knew that Eugenio Torre was their #1 player, and we heard about the up-and-coming Rogelio Antonio,
yeah.
who everyone called Joey. Joey Antonio was their star player.
Yeah.
I think he had just fulfilled the norms to become a grandmaster. So he was a GM elect. And this was his homecoming because the Olympiad was being held in Philippines, you know. So, you know, there was a lot of anticipation that he was going to do very well, which he did. Notwithstanding this match, he scored, I think, 8 out of 12. But this was the first round, and the team decided to rest the top 2 players, Neil Fairclough and Thompson. So,
so they threw you in.
I was basically thrown in.
Man, them said them need to, and it's your second Olympiad, as I would say, they said they need to blood you, but it's your second Olympiad, so the man them said, no Torre for me.
Yeah. Incidentally, we had played Philippines in 1990, and Neil had played Torre on board 1 in that Olympiad, you know, and you know, we were just marveling at this man's positional mastery.
Yeah.
You know, one of the great things about the Olympiad is when you analyze the games with these strong players afterwards, and you just realize how much they actually calculate and how much they actually see over the board.
Yep.
It's an enlightening experience.
It's a humbling experience at times, Kev. Yeah, it's a humbling experience. Definitely. Alright, so Kev, let's start this game. So you go to the board and you see Antonio, who is their rising star, and he plays E4 on you. E5, yes. I always remember you as an E5 man, never back down.
That's right.
So, knight F3, knight C.
Oh.
Yeah, man. You see it from my end? Because I'll move the pieces, just watch from my end, because I know you have the little complication of the phone. So you seen it move on my end, Kev?
Yes. Go ahead, no.
Alright, so let's move the pieces. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so is it moving? I've seen it moving on my end.
E5 man.
Alright, once you keep the phone steady, Kev,
so
it will come through, yeah.
I really didn't know what Antonio played. So, okay. Alright, I'm seeing the position now after D4.
Yeah. So, but I'm not seeing, they're not seeing it on their end. So, we need to just move off and go again.
Let me, what's happening?
So, no, it's not on your end, Kev. Not on your end. So,
okay.
And, yeah, and they'll be seeing it now.
I think they'll see it now. Okay.
Yeah, they'll see it now. So, talk to us. The Scotch came on the board.
Right. I didn't know what Antonio played. I didn't really have time to analyze his games. I mean, this was before the computer. So I was just playing over the board. So I really don't fear any variations in E4, E5. So I was pretty willing to enter into a Scotch.
Alright, and you took, yeah.
And my variation is the BC5 variation. Black has several moves here. I know power push oftentimes 6.